Well, I always recommend for a libido mismatch is people to go to their gynecologist and urologist.
For me as a woman, I'm so used to the one
Yeah.
being like the object of
yeah.
desire, right? Like, we talked about pursuit in another episode. So it's like, as a man, why do I need to?
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, like sometimes your partner's libido, as we talked about libido change, it's like my libido might be higher, so I want to get off more than what you can give me.
Marriage Pinnacles, Jasmine and Pete.
We're God's favorites link up.
My name is Dr. Lara.
And I'm Emmy.
And this is Marriage Pinnacle.
We have a guest today.
Finally.
This has been like a year in the making. I feel like it's been so long.
It's been a long time.
Yes.
So
boy.
Happy.
It has been, but I feel excited because this is like the threesome I didn't know I needed. Like, I feel like every time we have run into each other, it's like a group chat. Like,
literally.
it's like all the things. You would think like we've all really hung out.
No,
for real.
like it's crazy. But it's been a long time coming.
Yes.
And we could have did virtual, but we were like, no.
We need the real thing.
On the couch. We need the real thing.
Yeah.
We just feel the real thing.
I mean, what better is that, right? Like a real, like we want to touch it. We need to feel it. We need to have the energy.
Yeah. And for those of you who do not know what we're talking about, we have sex therapist Jen in the flesh, in the building. For those of you who have been in our DM, talk about when are y'all going to talk about sex?
Here we are.
This should have happened a very long time ago, but
we always said we needed to outsource that.
Yeah.
Because we're a little bit prudish. So we need to hire someone that's going to get to what we need
and be trained at it.
Yeah.
So there's that as well.
Exactly.
So yes, Jen was meant to come here a while ago, but it's all right. Now is the time.
Yes.
Now is the time. Here we are. We already talking about parts 2 and 3.
Yes.
Already worked those out. So just let us know. Yes, we want the part 2, and it is coming.
Yeah.
So Jen, finally.
I am so excited.
Yes.
I really don't believe that y'all are that prudish though.
She might not be, but
I'm a little bit less than her.
She's less than me.
Sometimes it's just about like tapping into those parts of you and really bringing it forward.
And
that's why you're here, Jen.
And that's why you're here, Jen. And that's why you're here. So for those, like we said, this is sex therapist Jen. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? We have your bio, but I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been a therapist for 13 years.
Yeah.
I really wanted to become a sex therapist specifically because there just wasn't enough Black and brown people talking about sex in a positive way.
Correct.
There was a lot of talk, always about HIV and sexual assault when it came to Black people, but there wasn't anybody really talking about the education of sex or really the pleasureful moments of it or how to get to some of those pleasureful moments. Absolutely. And so I just wanted to be part of the change I wanted to see. So, so I'm excited about that. But, I've just always loved helping people.
Yeah.
And that's really why I ended up in this career.
I love it. And she might look 13, but she is not 13. She has 13 years of experience.
I just turned 40.
What?
Yeah.
Man, Black don't crack.
It sure don't.
Sure don't.
80s babies.
Yes.
Oh, man, we are so grown now.
We'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah. And I loved turning 40. Like I thought a lot of people were, said a lot of negative things, but I love turning 40 because it starts a new decade.
It does.
New chapter, new beginnings. And I learned a lot over, the course of my life.
Yeah.
I'm ready to just boss up now and use it in different ways.
Period.
Yeah.
40 is not, it's like you're a big girl, but you're like still like,
I'm a sexy big girl.
Yeah.
that's it. That's it.
And I think for me, it's also like the gift of life.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
it's such a blessing just in general to turn any age. But I feel like there's something big about getting to 40 because it's like you said, you've learned all these lessons and you've had your ups and downs, you made your mistakes, and of course you keep making them. But it's kind of like, let's minimize them now.
Yeah.
Let's like, you know,
and you're assured.
let's capitalize.
Yeah, definitely. I
For
love it.
sure.
Love it. Love it. So here on Chats on the Peak, we do a little truth or trash.
Okay.
And we want to get your take and see what you think.
Okay.
So, truth or trash, Jen? Men enjoy sex more than women.
Ooh, this is like a toss up.
Okay.
I would say trash.
Okay. Why?
Because women do really love sex. They're just not, they haven't been given a lot more spaces to talk about it
Correct.
or to normalize it.
Yes.
But from what I see in therapy, women really want it more. But they just don't vocalize it the same way as men have.
Yeah, there's that language is difficult. Yeah, for women, and we can get on so many reasons as to why. But yeah, that's good. All right, Mems, what do you think?
I agree with her.
Yeah.
I would say trash. I feel like we're all conditioned to believe that.
Yeah.
That men like sex, men are visual creatures, and women are never really allowed a space. So I agree.
Same. So that's 3 for 3.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll go for the next.
Yeah.
Bad sex is a reason to get divorced. Without working on it.
I was gonna say, I'm like, this is such a hard
bad sex without trying to fix it.
I would say truth.
Okay.
For some people, like they build a lot of resentments and start to get angry. In the relationship when the sex is just consistently bad or there's no affection at all. And people have needs that need to be met, and sex is a component of a relationship and a marriage. And some people just you got to cut your losses and move forward. I mean, if that's a big part of something that you really need and you've spent 10 years trying to work on it, it's like, so now are we just having a sexless marriage? And like, that's what that's now what I'm agreeing to. Like, if that's not what you want, then you may have to make some difficult decisions about
and I
ending
think
that relationship.
And it's indicative of like larger issues and larger problems. And like you said, it spurns into more. So it just becomes a mishmash of unhealthy.
Oof, that's a tough one. As it's read, bad sex is cause for divorce. I would say trash, but I also, with the caveat of there's got to be like effort put into it, right? 'Cause a lot of times there is mismatched libido. And again, the other factors that might be at play, like, okay, I am a virgin, and purity culture was something that I adopted, and so there's a lot of shame around sex and enjoying it, and I don't know how to vocalize that, and I didn't get help, and then I think that there's work to be done. You know what I mean? And nobody wants a sexless marriage. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
Some people do.
Okay, well,
some people do, but for the most part, people don't. But there are a fair amount of people that do,
and that's okay. So when I say people don't want it, like, I mean they're not choosing to have, or they are choosing to have a sexless marriage, but I am not saying that, oh yeah, you want it and I don't, and that's why we're having a sexless marriage is what I mean.
Okay.
And so that's interesting. We're gonna have to talk about that.
Yeah, I actually not now. Okay, later. I'll come back. I'm like, hold on, tell me more.
Put a pin in it.
Yeah, okay.
But yes, because I'm very interested in that. But I do think that for the most part, it should be something that's enjoyed. But I think that dialogue and the conversations around sex should always go first. And that's why I'm such a big proponent of communication in marriage and obviously just in relationships in general. And I think that resentment builds up when you're not doing that.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so I'm such a believer of like fighting another day. But I do believe that sometimes it just gets to that point where like we have tried everything.
Yeah.
And ain't nothing changing here. So you have to do what you have to do it.
You have to make some unfortunate decisions.
Yeah.
So in direct correlation to that one, the next one is bad sex curable?
Truth or trash?
These are not. This is so black and white. I'm like, oh, there's also so many shades of gray.
Yeah, but that's
you
okay
can
though.
talk about the shades.
Yeah,
so pick one you think is trash or truth, and then just give us your reasons why.
Okay, repeat the question.
Is bad sex curable? Like, can you fix it?
I would say true.
Okay.
There might be a lot of different ways to cure it, but you have to be open to what works for you.
That's good.
Yeah. So I think that there's lots of ways to cure it. Well, one, you have to be willing to want to change it, and then be open to different methods to see what works for you in your relationship.
These little segues are perfect.
Yeah,
Speaking of,
we're doing the whole episode.
Speaking of, so using sex toys will desensitize you to the real thing, truth or trash.
If you overuse them, true.
Yes.
True. If you overuse them, they can.
Okay.
Yeah. So oftentimes I encourage people to take breaks in using them as frequently, or even when you're masturbating at large frequencies to kind of reduce that, so that you can build up that sensitivity again for when you're interacting with another partner.
That's so interesting. I don't think I ever need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
That is interesting. Okay. And so why is that?
The sensation. You get used to the sensation. When women use vibrators, they get very used to like the vibration, the settings. If you use a clitoral stimulator, you're used to the pulsation, the pressure. Like it's all and you're desensitizing yourself if you're using it every day or more frequently during the day. And then when you have a partner, your genitalia are used to that sensation, and so when you have a partner, it kind of feels sometimes like dull because you're like, oh,
there's no force here.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot happening here. My toy got multiple functions. You have a couple. Yeah. So it can definitely break the sensitivity. So I always encourage people to, you have to pace it out.
Makes sense. Okay. Really interesting. And so what do you feel like is one myth about sex or intimacy that you feel like you heard growing up that you found out wasn't true? And I mean, I feel like you have education to kind of back it. So what do you feel like maybe you heard, earlier in life, and like after years of experience and training and things like that, you're like, oh, that was a lie?
A couple things. Like if you don't use it, you'll lose it. Like I'm like,
like you mean like the skills?
Yeah, like the skills. Like like if you don't use them, you'll lose it. It's like there's lots of muscle memory there. You can still get back into
ride a bike.
Yeah,
get back on a horse.
Yeah, you gotta just be willing to get in there. And, like it may not you may not be great that first round or second round, but you're like, okay, I got my sea legs back. Like we're good.
That's funny.
So I think that was a big one. And I think like one that I commonly heard amongst women is like, if you don't have sex with your man, then he'll leave you. And I'm like, there's many reasons why he'll leave you, even if you having consistent sex. Like even if you have sex every day, there still could be, he could still cheat. He could still leave you. But that was a big one I used to hear of, like, you have to have sex if you want to keep your husband. And I'm like, that don't mean nothing. Like they could still leave you.
How about you, ma'am?
For me, it's like stupid now, but everybody always said like the first time you have sex, you would like bleed a whole lot, like pop your cherry. And it would be extremely painful, and I didn't experience any of that. So I thought something was wrong with me.
I think that was such a scare tactic back then, which was awful.
That is so true about the bleeding and the yes. Oh dang, I don't even know one. I wrote the question. I don't even know a myth. That's so crazy. A myth about sex. That the size, like your size. I heard about size. Like like your size determines whether or not.
Yeah, it's gonna be
good or not. Yes.
Yeah.
The size of a woman or the size of a guy?
The size of a like even with a woman, I can even go with that. Like once you have kids, that you're just
like a wide
give
open
a head size hole, and it doesn't feel the same anymore.
Yeah.
And that clearly is not true.
Right.
It definitely goes back.
Yeah. But I think about men. Yeah,
men too,
that
though.
part was a big one. Yes, that I also heard. Like, and that's like, that's clearly not true. Unfortunately, some of us had to learn the hard way.
Not true.
Yeah,
not true.
Big myths.
Huge myth.
Yeah. So, all in all, we're talking about sex today, guys.
We haven't guessed.
Yes, if you haven't guessed, we want to talk about healthy conversations. we want to know why healthy conversations around sex is so hard.
Yeah.
In marriage, in healthy like, why is it just so hard to talk about? And so I know that you had an internet chokehold, or no?
No, not today.
Oh no, we didn't. Oh, perfect. Sorry.
Yeah, no, just our icebreakers.
Yeah.
And going
Okay.
into things.
Well, that's it right there then. Okay.
She said no foreplay today. We're getting right to it.
Yes, no foreplay. Diving in.
Dang, I wasn't ready. Maybe we need the foreplay.
But that was foreplay.
It was foreplay.
Yeah.
I need more.
Everybody has a different timetable for how much foreplay they need.
Perfect. That is perfect. So we are the main goal here today is for our people that are struggling, that are having hard times in their marriages. Like she said, a lot of women just had kids.
Yeah.
What we want to get back, and we want to improve sex in the bedroom. So we're here to wake up the bedroom.
Yeah, wake it up.
For our community.
Yes.
So my very first question, I feel like this is something that we hear a lot, is when you have a couple that comes to you and was like, we are just not having sex.
Yeah.
What is the first thing that you tell your couples?
Yeah. Well, I really try to make it a safe space because for a lot of couples that are coming to sex therapy, I am a bit of a last resort. Like they have tried a lot of other things and so now they're willing to be vulnerable and come and talk to me. And so I really want to create a safe space for everybody. I'm not here just for the man's pleasure and I'm not just there for the woman's pleasure, right? Or if you're a same sex couple, I'm not there for one or the other. Like the goal is for everybody to have a pleasurable experience. Right. So I really try to normalize that. I ask both partners to identify what it is that they feel most unhappy about with the intimacy. And I try to use the word intimacy and not the word sex because there are many ways for us to connect. And a lot of times we have to build other areas of intimacy before we can actually get to the physical intimacy. So I really try to give them some education, some understanding about where they currently are. And I really try to unpack too of what was their history in learning and being educated about sex. Because especially where we live here, different cultural perspectives or religion come in, and that is a big barrier that one of the other partners didn't know about. That they already feel that way or thinking about it. And for my couples with kids or new parents, I'm constantly asking, what does this space look like in the bedroom? Because a lot of bedrooms have now become the catch-all. Like the crib's in there, the play bit,
the baby in there.
Baby right in the bed with y'all.
Get the baby out the bed.
Get the baby out the bed.
Yeah, like, I had a couple not too long ago, like I don't want to say they both were kind of like hoarders, but like there was just like piles of clothes everywhere, like old stuff. Like, and so I was like, one of y'all homework assignments is spend a weekend to clear out this room. Like clear out the mess, like make it more an inviting space because it's hard to think about having sex in a space that feels cluttered, chaotic, and stressful. So those
you don't even realize those things are barriers.
And it does. And like, that's why I'm always excited when people are ready to come to sex therapy because I'm going to remind you or bring up things that you may not have been conscious of that's really impacting your space, your mental space, your physical space, your emotional space. So those are some of the things that I really try to talk to people about in the initial first couple of sessions.
So good.
Okay, that's really good.
And go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Go ahead. And so like we talk about sexless marriage. What would you even define a sexless marriage as?
A sexless marriage, I would define as a relationship where sex is now, if it was something that was happening consistently, has now changed and now it may be reduced to a minimal amount or it's not happening at all. And somebody's sexual needs are not being met in the relationship in some way. And that might be for one partner, it could be both partners, as we talked before, of like people who want sexless marriages. There are plenty of people that I have met that neither of them sex is a priority.
Is that asexual or is that?
Some are asexual and some people are just like, I just don't have the desire to have sex and I'm okay with that. The other person's like, same. So like, we just like,
I love when people link up like that. That is how life should be. Like, find your match.
And they're like, we are so happy just being companions and like sex is not something that we have to worry about, and we're happy about that. Love that for us. And when we want to have sex, we'll talk about it. But for the most part, that's not at the forefront.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great, if that works for you.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah, we appreciate that a lot. So a lot of something else that I feel like that's really common, and then we kind of talked about it as a myth, is that there's a mismatch in libidos. Laura mentioned it earlier.
Yes.
So how do you begin to? How do you like? What would you give tips to any of our viewers or listeners that have that libido mismatch?
Yeah, so I always recommend for libido mismatch is people to go to their gynecologist and urologist to be able to get checked, to get your labs done, get some testing done to see where your testosterone, your estrogen levels are. And that will tell a lot also about your libido levels and what you're needing. A lot of times it's just like vitamin C deficiency that can impact your libido. Yeah.
Oh my God. So it's like a biological thing. We're thinking like, oh, I just don't want to have sex.
Well, I mean, that is a factor, but for me, I'm always in the rule out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's do medical first, and then I can get to the mental. Sometimes we have to work on both together at the same time, depending on what might be going on biological, right?
Really?
And so, but it's interesting because even when I ask those types of evaluation questions in the beginning, I'm always shocked at how many people don't go to the gynecologist or the urologist. And most of the time, men have not been, like, ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this checks everything regarding libido, because it also could be like blood flow issue, right? Like it could be other things
like
that are
ED.
that are contributing. And for women, you know, they, especially once they've had a baby, they're like, I don't have time to go to the gynecologist. I'm like, you just pushed a human out of there. You need to be able to, you need to get that checked. You need to follow up.
Please go get that checked.
Where they've never been, you know, and so like, and especially depending on different cultures, you know, and so those are things I really stress in the beginning, but it's a lot of it is a rule out. I want to figure that out. And then, sometimes it is mental, you know, and a lot of people are on antidepressants or blood pressure medication or other types of meds that impact your libido. So I'm also trying to get a medical history of that as well, to make sure that there's a lot I have to think about now. If you're on medication, what else we're doing to ramp up your libido, but I can't recommend medication that's going to impact those other meds that you're
contraindicated, right?
So it's, again, that's why you're also wanting to work with a medical provider to figure out what's the good balance, right? But a lot of, I mean, it's cliche, but it's like diet, exercise plays a big factor in libido. And then, mental health, depression, anxiety, PTSD, all those things will contribute to people having low libido. So I'm really evaluating to see all of those things. And that's what I would encourage people to think about too, if their libido is being impacted, to really kind of unpack where some of those changes start happening.
Affects libido, correct? I know.
Yes, there's a lot of different things. I mean, women going through menopause and even perimenopause, it causes postpartum, you know, it impacts your libido. So there's lots of factors. So for people that may be experiencing some libido issues, I always encourage them to talk to their doctor. If you have a therapist, talk to your therapist, or consult a sex therapist to kind of unpack and rule out what are some of these factors, because there's solutions for all of those things, but it's about really figuring out what it is and how to address it.
Yeah, and to me, that's actually so enlightening, because I feel like a lot of times when you hear these conversations about, oh, she just doesn't want to have sex anymore, she has kids, there's no like mercy, there's no grace. You know, when you're talking about it, there's no like, dang, like, could he or she be going through something else? Or is there medical reasons? I've never even thought about the idea of there being medical reasons to your libido being low. A lot of people just think like, oh, she just don't want me anymore, or she's just not attracted to me anymore. And there's so many other things at play.
So many different
potentially.
Things. There's a lot of things. I mean, even in the climate of where we are currently in the world, people are under an extreme amount of stress. And that is going to impact your libido as well. Stress is a huge factor for most people of why their libidos are low. Now, are there different age progressions, like where your libidos are higher and lower? For sure. And that's why you oftentimes see people that are at different ages, right? Like whether you're an older man and you're with a younger woman, like he's more at his sexual peak, where the women at that age maybe are not, right? And then so
what is the peak again for women?
it's different I can't remember all of them, but I know for sure, like in the early 40s for women, like right before menopause, like the women get a huge influx and yeah, it's a dangerous group out there. Let me tell you, if you want a woman that's gonna tear your clothes off, get you a woman in her early 40s because they are like
insatiable.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, like their libidos are like really high, and that's why a lot of times you do see women, right, like with cougars, right? Yeah. They want to call them like with men that are younger because they're looking to feed that appetite.
That's the itch.
And and the men in that block, their libido is down.
Yeah,
so then theirs goes back up in the 50s, but then that's where women are in menopause. So it's like a lot of mismatch, right? And so that's why you do see a lot of different people with different age groups because they're trying to find somebody that matches their libido.
Yeah.
That's
wow, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so then what about like if we're talking about libido, can we kind of segue into like even just attraction, right? So like, how does that impact? Like, what do you say to someone who's just like, I don't think I'm sexually attracted to such and such anymore? Like, is there a way to come back from that?
I mean, I think what you just said, like it's a conversation that a lot of people avoid.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is usually where I get heated in therapy because people are like, well, I just ghosted them because I didn't want to tell them that. And I'm like,
we gotta talk.
We gotta have adult conversations, and like, so I'm always like, say that to somebody if you're in a marriage, right? And
especially if you're in, that's what we want to know.
Yeah, if you're in a marriage and you no longer are attracted, it's a conversation. Right. It's an uncomfortable conversation, but it's one you have to have because otherwise the other person is going to start to internalize all these other possible scenarios, right? But you have to be willing to have that conversation and talk about are you willing to work to finding attraction in that person again? And it's going to take work. It may be uncomfortable. But if you really love this person, you want to be with them, then we're going to have to work on it. A lot of times when people have had those conversations in therapy, a lot of it is because of weight gain. People are not taking care of themselves. They kind of let themselves go, or even they've let their mental health go. And it's just like, I can't keep working at this if you're not going to do anything, right?
That's good.
I see
one-sidedness.
Yeah, a lot of one side. I see that a lot with parents that have had kids. Once the kids come and they see one partner is not doing more or helping out, they're like, you are definitely unattracted to me now. Like, you can't do anything to help me with these kids or taking care of the house, or I'm doing all the solo parenting. Like, I'm not attracted to you anymore. I don't even see you as my partner,
right?
Because the resentment comes in. That I think that sometimes that overshadows
everything else.
Yeah, the attraction, like the desire to even be with that person. So I think there's a lot of things, but you have to have those conversations. Otherwise, it just starts to build this wall.
Yeah, and it's we talk about the buildup of resentment and how that tears away at everything, not just even sex, but it is extremely dangerous.
It is. I think resentment really is like a catalyst to now, like, I don't respect you. And that's a hard place to come back from. I feel like that's a lot of like, you don't make that turnaround once you've lost respect.
Ooh, that's hard to get back.
That is
hard. Not impossible, but very hard.
Very difficult.
You have to be diligent if you want to work on it.
Yeah.
And so, we don't want it to seem like it's just hard all around, right? But we do get, but to be honest though, and to be fair, like it can be challenging with kids and like life changes and situations that happen. It can make sex like less of a priority. And so we know that, right? But so what do you think about, or what do you feel when the sex just feels boring and like maybe it just is routine? So I understand you need it, I'm willing to give it to you, but I'm just doing it to just kind of
I hear that. I hear that a lot. I'm just here to check the box.
I'm checking the box.
I hear that a lot, and nobody wants lazy sex. Like a lot of times in most of my cases, the men are like, I'd rather just not have it.
Yeah.
If you just like feel like I'm just taking it from you. Like I don't.
It's not attractive.
It's nobody wants that. You want the engagement,
right?
You know.
And and men also want to feel wanted. I feel like that's a conversation we've had because for me it was always like I'm not an initiator. I'm like when you ready, you let me know.
Let me know.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna turn you down.
I'm not gonna turn you down. I'm here.
And so the conversation was, but I also want to feel desire.
Yes.
And that was like a wake up call for me because I'm just like, what do you mean? Like I'm here, am I not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's
But it's like because I think as for me as a woman, I'm so used to the one being like the object of desire, right? Like we talked about pursuit in another episode, so it's like. As a man, why do I need to, but it's like in a marriage is a long time. So you can only pursue and desire someone for so long before you want it to be reciprocated.
Yes. So. And let me tell you, when you show some interest and show some desire to a man, I don't think the sex would be top tier. Like,
it's very different.
It's very different. It's very different. You're like, oh, I didn't know you.
Like, I like how people do like this.
It's like,
and we all cracking.
Bro, it's like, girl, you want me? I was like, me. It does a lot, right? And like that, I feel like initiates that energy again, right? Just being able to step outside of what it is. Yeah, that's comfortable. But also, I feel like I see a lot of couples of like, well, you liked that thing I used to do. Well, guess what? That was 5 years ago. I like something different now. I need something different. A lot of people get stuck and don't want to try something new and because of life, right? They're like, oh, like life is. Do you want this relationship or not?
Yeah.
That's usually what I always come back. Do you want this person? Do you desire them? Do you love them? Do you want this marriage? Then we've got to try. You have to be open. You have to be open to new things. And sometimes they don't know what it is. So then we have to spend some time exploring. But you have to be willing to show that affection for each other, but making the time and space.
Yes.
One of the things that I feel like I've talked about the most in the last 5 years of why people really get in this rut of not having sex is because of technology. People are in the bed, but they're scrolling. They're scrolling. They're watching different shows. Like they're not talking.
Both on other phones. Both in the other way.
Exactly. And I'm like, so you guys do actually have time for intimacy, but that means putting down the phones. I don't even like for people to take their phones in the bedroom. Like unless you need to because of work or family related things. Like I don't even like phones in the bedroom because it's a distraction.
Yeah, it is.
And so like making the time and space to be intentional. Like it takes no effort at all to give each other hugs, right? Like I'm like, let's take it all the way back. Just
like start back.
Let's go.
Elementary school.
Just a hug. Like, do y'all even hug each other in the morning before you leave the house, right? Is there even a kiss that's, a lingering or like
I forgot to give him a hug this morning. God dang.
Oh man. I'm just over here like, okay, didn't do that.
But I think what you're saying is true because it is so easy because we talk about how busy life is. We talk about how routine things get. And it's like we talk about intentionality so much, but it's like it's so easy to just forget. I'm sure people even go to therapy and learn all these things, and then a year later. You're back to the same, you're back to the nature. So it's like a daily intentionality.
But it also you just build it into the routine, right? Like this is all like if you have a routine about how you do your day,
that should be one
build it in.
That should be right, exactly.
Literally like, check box, like it's got to be built in until it becomes like natural.
Until it becomes natural.
Exactly. And so like that is a big thing I really try to encourage people to do is really find what works of how can we get connected again? What works for us now and not so much about what worked in the past, right? Like what works for us now and how you want me to connect with you.
And
I feel like a lot of things like what men have shared, not just like being initiated, but like words of affirmation too, right? Like, babe, thank you so much for taking the kids out today. I really appreciate that. Like for holding space for me.
To my husband when he get back.
Like
it's a birthday party. So we can record the podcast.
Yeah. Like they just want to be appreciated. And that goes a long way, right? Of also feeling desired, but also seen. And so that's a big part. That has to be fluid on both sides. Like I feel like we're very much in the soft girl era. Right?
It's absolutely a thing.
But we can be soft because I took care of you too.
That's good, Jen. Jen, say that again.
That's good, Jen.
We can be soft because I took care of you too.
That's so good.
Right? Like he can be who he is and show up for me because I poured into you as well.
Yeah.
And you're doing the same for me that allows me to be soft. So like it has to be fluid.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we get lost in the lyrics, right? Or like the persona of like, oh, my man just takes care of me and everything is great. But it's like, it's work on both sides. I don't ever believe that it's just one-sided.
Yeah. And it can be because it's two of us
exactly
married for the rest of our lives. Like,
yeah. Y'all were the one, you stood up there and both people took vows, right? Like both.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
So that I think is just something we have to continue to remind ourselves about. Is like we have to be doing the pouring into each other.
Facts. All right. And so I feel like that's it. I want to talk about kind of two extremes, right? It's a loaded question. And so we'll take one at a time, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like, we talked to a couple, some episodes ago, who they used to schedule sex, right?
Yeah.
And then they talked also about like that's no longer really their routine anymore because, now it's more consistent and things like that. But do you feel like scheduling sex is bad, or is it a secret to consistency? Number one, but then on the flip side, like sex is scheduled, consistent, but then how do I kind of keep it spicy and spontaneous and
alluring, fun?
Yeah.
So we can take however you want.
Yeah. So you have to have one to get to the other. Right. So we got to build the consistency first. Right. So for some people, the scheduling works because it gets them into the routine.
Yeah.
Right. And it keeps it consistent. However, for some people, it still feels a bit like of checking the box and it's still not feeling good. So you have to help each other figure out how can we stay consistent with feeling like we're not scheduling, right? So some people, maybe you actually schedule a time to do a staycation if you can afford it once a month, where it's like, this is intentional. We're going away. We're actually spending time like having dates, talking, like building intimacy throughout the day to have sex, right? Because sometimes you may just need to get out of the house.
Decompress. Get away from everything.
Exactly. Or you just really make the time, right? Like I'm real big for people that have kids on scheduling PTO days. And while the kids are at
prepare
school,
the others, get them out of here.
When the kids are at school, because a lot of times people don't have babysitters or caregivers or things like that to help with the kids. So if the kids are at daycare or at school, schedule PTO days and spend the day at home. Intentional space to have sex, right? To have intimacy, to just hang out together in a safe space. That's your home, right? And so that I think that's always a good way of being able to stay consistent, because people can, especially for people that work from home, more flexibility to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you're supposed to be on that meeting. You're not on that meeting. You having a meeting in the bedroom.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's one way to keep. That's one way to keep it spicy, though, right? Like or you're sending some like flirty texts while you know that person's in the meeting. You're like, you wait till you get off. I got something special for you.
Make sure that joint on mute.
That part. But the consistency is important, but people have to make the space for it. I find that a lot of people can be rigid of like, oh, but like that just doesn't work for me. I'm like, you're not going to know until you actually do it. But I think scheduling it can help you get on more of but it also has to be like, not just like, okay, so at 5:00 we're having sex. Like, it's 5:00, where you at? Yeah, right. You might, but again, well, like what we were talking about earlier about foreplay, is like, okay, so what's the foreplay look like to you? Because I want people to build that in.
What's the build up to that?
What's the build up, right? Because we can't just be checking the box of we're having sex today.
But there's nothing that happened in between that.
Exactly. There has to be foreplay. Again, that's why I'm like, what are we doing to connect? What do you need to feel desired? What do you need that would help you feel like you want to have sex with me, right? And that's a hard question for people to ask, because
What's the question again?
What do you need from me in order to feel like you want to have sex with me? Right? And it's like, you're asking it because it's vulnerable, but also you want to intentionally meet that person's need.
Right.
I I actually like when people ask more direct questions like that because I'm like, great. Now
I
know how to get there. Now I know. Right.
You unlock the code for me.
Yeah, because so much of being married is unlocking the code. So much of it is trying to get to who is this person. Because it's like you know them, you think you know them, but there's still so many layers. And as they're growing, as they're maturing, they're adding more layers.
And so it's like this key don't fit.
Like this key don't work no more.
Exactly.
So now what's the new key? And so I love that. I love that you're incorporating that foreplay part and the build up to sex. Because for so many people, like we're talking about the busy parent, we're talking about the busy business person, but it's like you can't just turn. I know there's generalization, but I know for most of us, it needs to be sort of a build up. Like you can't just turn us on at the end of the night. You can't have not talked to me at all and think at the end of the day.
Bust it wide open.
Yeah,
that's not how it works.
And a lot of men can do that, right? But women cannot. And so that's why it's so important to continue the dialogue. I really feel like dialogue is a big part of how we stay consistent of just checking in and seeing how people are feeling, a temperature check on how was your day? Like, I know you had that meeting. How'd that go? You know, like just conversation, feeling like you're engaged with one another. It's
something
really
else I wanted to say to your point about like going on a staycation or taking day off from work when the kids are at school just to like create that environment to have sex, to be intimate. Because I feel like a lot of people sometimes may think like, I ain't about to do that. Like, that's corny. I'm about to go get a hotel just to have sex. But it's like, I feel like we need to kind of I don't know if it's a stigma or destigmatize, but I feel like it's nothing wrong with prioritizing your sex life.
No.
And if that is something you both desire, and if it's something that you want, that is connection. That is how to strengthen everything else. It is one of the pillars of your foundation. So it's like, if you want to be closer, like, when we are good, ain't nothing that we can't talk about.
Come on,
ain't nothing that I can't have. Like, there's never no and no.
Literally.
When we are doing good, but them dry spells,
we can't get none.
Oh, the dry spells, I can't I can't even ask for a cup of water because it's like, girl, you ain't do nothing else. What you done lately, right? You know, but when things are good, you know. But so it's like I feel like that's something that. I feel, because I can like literally hear our listeners like, I'm not about to go do that. But it's like, you should, you know? There's nothing wrong with it.
Right. And it may not be practical for a lot of people, but for the relationship, if you know that home is where it's not happening, you need to break it up in something. You have to like jolt it back. And if it's going away and going to a hotel and just having that time, that's okay to do. And again, that is the renewal. Like, we have to find whatever works. If this works for some people, great. If it doesn't work for you, figure out another way, right? Maybe it's having sex in a different room at the house. I don't know, but like, you have to be.
I'm tired of the bedroom. I'm like, what?
Really? You have to find. This is where it comes with spicing it up, right? Like, you got to figure out what works, and it's like you have to explore. You have to explore. But some people are like, it in the bedroom feels too routine for people a lot of the time. So it's like spontaneity would be like, hey, like, changing it up, right? Like, listen, we got these counters put in. You better put me up on there, like, right? Right. You better
big dog. Come on now.
Right. Bend me over this couch. Like,
period. It is
the furniture is ours for a reason.
Right.
It's ours. Pay for it.
You paid for this furniture.
It is pretty sturdy.
It's good quality here.
Come on.
Right.
Like,
even just like sex in the shower. You know what I mean? Just showering together. You know?
I think about my hair all the time. No, I really do be. I'm like, am I putting the wig on in the shower for the wig to get wet? That's literally what I be thinking about. I promise you.
But the wig don't gotta be on, do it.
Which is the reason why I'm like, so he gonna be running his hands through my cornrows?
Why not?
To me?
That's not how you feel sexy.
You
at all. I'm like,
You're adding barriers where it don't need to be barriers. Like,
exactly.
They don't care.
You're worried about your hair. And
they don't care. He do not care.
He's worried about, girl.
But I definitely think, I'm like.
That's a mental block.
It is.
But you're not the only one.
Right.
I'm
sure there's many women watching this.
I cannot be the only person thinking that. Because I'm like, these cornrows are really? Okay, sure.
You know I'm bald headed.
Okay, sure.
I be bald. I be trying to grab a. Hold on. Girl, don't care.
But this is where the challenge is, right? The barriers come up, right?
Yes.
But, okay, so if the shower don't work, then when your wig is on, right? It better be on in the kitchen,
house wig or
right?
something. I don't know. Dang, maybe the house wig can get wet or something.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, something else, or you got your hair, you have your hair on in, right, whatever, and you have it pulled up, and you take a bath together. Okay,
That's a good one.
is that more y'all speed? More you speed?
Okay.
I do got a nice, and he be like, "Why did we get this? We could have just got a bigger shower." And I was like, "So now,
Okay, utilize the tub. Okay, utilize the tub.
Rubber dub dub.
So
sex in the tub."
I'm all for it.
Oh,
I just want people to explore, right?
Yes.
And just
Yeah.
try different
Make it
things.
fun.
Make it fun. And like you know each other best to know like what would be fun for you, that or something that maybe y'all did earlier in your relationship that could be fun to bring back, right? Or to even, you're like,
She's
hey,
like, what you think about?
she had a flashback.
She definitely had a flashback.
She had a flashback.
Little Kiki, I heard it. I heard it.
She was screaming because the flashback was vivid. Oh,
Wow. No, literally, I
Got
heard a
her
laugh.
right
And I was like, wait a second. What did you think about?
he gonna be mad if I say
Don't say it.
Yeah.
You better not. You better
I'll tell y'all later.
All right.
Okay.
Tell us
She had a whole
offline.
flash of it. She's like, woo.
Tell us offline. It's okay. Back to the
I'll tell y'all
episode.
offline. Sorry.
Because you just left.
Woo.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Jennifer.
that's okay. That's okay. I love it when people have those. You see what I'm saying? When you bring something back, you're like, yeah, I want to run that back.
You want it back.
It's kind of
You want it
good. But I think it's fun for people to just be open.
Yeah, for sure.
Just be open to trying different things because everybody's not ready for toys, right?
Yeah.
Like, but just changing the environment, the
Correct.
location can add a lot of spice.
Yeah.
Even just dressing up, right? Like, I feel like we get in the rut of like, we're just in sweats. We're in two
Just
pieces.
t-shirt.
Like we're just like
Old t-shirt.
we don't even get dressed up for each other anymore. So like even just getting a little bit more dressed up to go out on a date can change the dynamic. Or like you're like, well, we're home together today. I'm bringing a little outfit. I'm bringing sexy back of just like I'm wearing some booty shorts or I'm wearing a skirt with no drawers on here. Like,
and make sure he know.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, can you?
Yeah, I ain't got no drawers on. What's up?
Ain't word.
So it's like, or again, like even when you show desire towards him, when he's in something that you're like, oh, I see you.
Yeah.
I got them gray
sweatpants.
You're not allowed to wear those. Take them off.
Where are you going, Ty?
Yeah. Oh, he will take them off right then.
Right.
He was like, all right.
No problem. Sure.
Say less.
Problem solved.
Right. But
Funny.
again, spice, right? Like you find ways to engage. And I think that's the really important thing is like you're intentional about doing that.
That's good.
Good. Thank you.
All right. I heard you say the toys, right? So I feel like that is another way.
She's scared.
I'm not scared. Baby girl, not scared now. I just want us to talk about, like, because I do believe, right, that there is a healthy, like, fear, right? Because I think we even talked about it. Like, now you're using toys outside of your spouse. Like, I feel like that is how things now open the door. And so that is what I am trying to make sure that I make very clear, right?
Yeah.
When I say sex toys, or when I'm asking about, I am saying it in terms of you using this with your partner, right?
Yeah, okay.
Because I do believe a lot of times the reliance now is like, I don't need my partner. I'm using the toys. And now you're saying things like, you're now not, it's dull when I'm getting the real thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like that is the reason why I think that there is a benefit to spicing it up in that way.
Yeah.
But I do believe also like there's a fine line.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
So I would love for you to talk to me about that a little bit. Or talk to us about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think like with in a relationship, you have to be willing to talk about introducing something new.
Yeah.
Because we're using it together, right? Like that's what we want to do, right? Is use them together. So we need to have a conversation about it. And like, what are you open to? What are your non-negotiables, right? With what we could bring in and explore.
Like my non-negotiable for the episode.
Yes. I think because there are non-negotiables as we talked about right at the beginning and before we got on camera. And it's like, you have to know what feels safe because if your partner doesn't feel safe about what you want to bring in, we're already back at block one, right?
Yeah.
So I think I love for people to have conversations about what they want to use, explore. And then I always, in therapy, I always suggest couples take a date night to the sex store. And really go, because a lot of times they have everything out on display and they're all charged, so you can touch things, feel them, try them,
ask questions.
Ask questions. The staff at all of those stores are super educated.
nice.
They have to go through trainings with each toy that's put out. So you get to touch things and feel them, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I like this. Maybe we try this. Like, and there's books and different. There's so many different things, and so like it's a bit of a way for you all to explore in real time of what in conversation of what we want to try. So I always encourage that. And then you find toys. There's plenty of toys now. I think earlier when maybe like 10 years ago, there was a lot of toys just for women's pleasure. But now there's a lot for men's pleasure and a lot for couples. So I love that couples can actually use toys together. Be able to have those conversations, but also have conversations if you want to use solo toys. And then just talking about, obviously, I mean, like sometimes your partner's libido, as we talked about libido change, it's like my libido might be higher, so I want to get off more than what you can give me. So I need to be able to use my toy. Like, how do you feel about that? Right? Maybe there's some times that like I incorporate you into that. When after I'm using it, or something like that. So there's other ways to engage your partner with it and not feeling like they're a substitute. The toys become a substitute for your partner.
Right.
Because I do feel like if that is happening, it is other things at play. It's like you're not feeling intimate here, so that's why you're going there. So it shouldn't be a situation where that's just your default. I feel like it's a symptom of a larger issue.
Of something else at play.
But I mean, sometimes you just, again, and men can be masturbating too without their partner. And the frequency. I want to have sex 3 times a day and you're only available 1 time a day. So what am I supposed to do for those other 2 times? So it's just like your needs still have to be met even when you have a partner and they may just not be available to you. Or they have something going on. Like I have a lot of clients that have erectile dysfunction or women that has vaginismus. And so like there are medical things happening while your partner cannot perform with their genitalia. So I don't want you to feel deprived, baby. I want you to be able to use whatever you need to use in order to get your sexual needs met.
And so, and again, you're wrapping that in like we talked about this.
We had conversations about it, right? And you can always feel free to incorporate them into it with using toys, or not. A lot of men I know are fine with their partners, female partners, using dildos as long as they're not bigger than them.
I've definitely heard that. Men are ridiculous.
It's a whole nother episode. But
really.
That's from the Peak Uncut.
But I did bring.
What you brought?
I did bring one couple toys. So this is from Satisfier, and I'm the name I think is Double Pleasure, Double Love, or something like that. And this is a toy that you put in your panties. And they have it. So all their toys, Satisfier's toys, are all Bluetooth accessible. So you
just making this.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So you can download the app, and then your partner can control it while you're out on a date.
Oh my god!
Or at home. This was like very hot seller when people were working from home together. Because you just put this. This is a great way to build up the intimacy for the day, right?
Be on a call. Like, why are you smiling on the call?
So it goes in the women's underwear?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so and this one has a double motor in it. So it's very strong, has a lot of...
Oh, I hear it.
I hear it.
Yeah, it's a loud one because of how strong it is. So I think that those are fun for couples to be able to use. Because you can do it on the date night, you can do it at home. You can.
I like you jumping, girl.
Yeah. It makes for a fun interaction, right? So I love toys that people can use together.
Yeah.
I did bring some other toys that are more for solo play.
Yeah.
This is a clitoral stimulator. This is also Satisfier, and it has like this is
suction.
Yeah, this is the suction. Okay. And this has vibration and the suck feature. It's a little bit more quieter, but I like that this toy also doesn't look like a common toy. Like you wouldn't, if this was in your purse, you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know what it is.
What it is, right?
Yeah.
And so
definitely looks like a car key.
Like a little bit bigger than a car key.
Yeah, exactly. So I love toys like this that like you just wouldn't know, what it is.
My husband could use that on his wife.
Yes, exactly. A lot of these toys that I did bring today, like they are toys that you can use together or solo.
Right.
And a lot of people are like, but how? It's like, well, while your partner's penetrating you, you can still put this on your clitoris. If they're providing oral sex to you, you can still put it in. You still use it on your clitoris. This toy here,
I know somebody be like, "Is that a massager?"
It does look like a massager. Again, a lot of toys are. You would not know what they are, right?
Yeah.
But this one is a clitoral stimulator and a vibrator, and it has a lick feature.
So what's the difference between a stimulator and a vibrator?
So the vibrator is most of the time the clitoral stimulator it's specifically to be like pulsating on your clit. Yeah. Now a vibrator, like the whole piece is gonna vibrate.
Okay.
Yes. So some people may also insert this. I don't recommend it. Not this toy. I wouldn't.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
But yeah, but the whole thing also vibrates.
Okay.
A lot of clitoral stimulators, the whole thing may not vibrate.
Got you.
But this one does.
Okay.
And it's very strong. And so like this you could use, and sometimes when again, I hate for men to always feel like they're being left out. So I didn't actually bring any male toys today, but I do have some. And so there are ways to be able to use this. So when a woman is providing oral sex, you can always put this on the side of your mouth, and now your mouth feels like a vibrator is vibrating on their penis. So that is another way if they feel comfortable. Again, you have to have lots of consent conversations on what people feel comfortable with, but you can always lift up the shaft and put this in between.
I was going to ask
while
you that.
providing oral sex.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask you about that.
So there's lots of different ways to be able to incorporate things to make it feel pleasurable for both partners. But again, a lot of men feel like, sorry, I forget how to turn this one off.
It's gonna vibrate. Battery gonna die.
A lot of men though just don't want. They want it to. They don't. You know. They're very cautious of what they like. And they want to be able to have good conversations. But that's why I suggest going to the adult store and you feel really comfortable with it. Okay. But I did bring like condoms and lube today too. And
so talk about lube. I think that just even the misconception about lube is just like, oh, she's dry, so that she means she don't want me. Talk to us about lube a little bit.
Yeah, lube is like should be everybody's friend.
Yeah.
It's not.
I love the lube.
Lube should be everybody's friend. It's for increased pleasure, really. It's just making sure that everybody's having a pleasurable experience. There's lots of different types. There's water-based, there's oil-based.
What do you recommend?
I brought a vegan base, and this is water-based. And it's vegan-based. The brand is Wicked, and they have different flavors because because they want this to be able to be used during oral. But it's because it's vegan-based, it has no sugar. So it's safe enough to go from oral to intercourse.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
And something else I wanted to say about lube that why I really like it is because I feel like there used to be this pressure over like staying wet.
Yes.
As a woman. Yes. So it's like it becomes like this mental load.
Yes.
Like, dang,
I'm dry.
I'm losing it. I'm
losing what to the kids.
But it's like that, girl. I don't care.
Get more lube.
Exactly, because we don't want to. We can easily tear blood vessels inside of our vulva, and so we don't want to do that. It becomes very painful. It takes time to heal.
Just because you don't want to feel, a certain way as a woman.
When there's something to help you with it.
Like exactly, like everything should just glide and slide. Glide and slide,
and it makes it better for everyone else. Like
it does. But I do feel like there has been a lot of pressure. But again, like some of those same factors I talked about earlier with with libido are a reason why women are not able to stay wet, right? Like again, if you're on medications, if you're not hydrated, like if you are postpartum, your vaginal cavity just went through a major trauma. Like that's
like
a big
she's
thing.
recovering.
And so there's a lot. Menopause is a huge contributing factor for why women are not, wet. And so I'm like, lube should be our friend. It should be our friend. I've been using Wicked for probably almost 10 years in my workshops, and like it's great for people with sensitive skin. And so like 'cause I tell people all the time, like, just put a little bit on your hand to just test it out, make sure it's good for you. It's not very oily. And so I brought peach. Let's see.
This for us?
Peach. Yes. Cinnamon bun.
Cinnamon bun.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if some people want their, strawberry. Yeah.
Thank you kindly.
Let me get
And
my
peach. And peach.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, and I love lube. I think it's really good. There should not be a lot of shame around it. It's helpful for all parties involved.
For sure.
And yeah, I think it's good. So I recommend that you try different kinds because the oil base is a little thicker. And works for if people are having anal play, or they really need the extra moisture when having intercourse. So but I always recommend Wicked for people, especially if they have any sensitivity or food allergies. So that also is a big component to
food allergies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, obviously. Right.
Yeah, with the different brands and like what they're using. Because some people like to use coconut oil as a lubricant.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
I'm allergic to coconut, so that's always.
Is it considered like if you're not allergic, is it considered a good lube though?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So but again, you want to ask these questions.
Yes.
Because you just don't know how it could be impactful.
So good.
That's
so good. Man, I feel like we have so many more questions. It's got to be.
Are we at the end? Oh my God,
Yeah,
no. Please.
We
I'm not done.
to make this a part. It's like absolutely like no way.
Because I'm looking at my next question like, hold on, which one?
I'll ask it, but go ahead.
So I know because I feel like we just talked about like as a woman, like feeling like you need to stay wet. So it's like that's like a hard conversation, right? Like if I'm a woman, I'm like, I don't need no lube. And the husband is like, babe, lube would help.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So how are you able to kind of navigate the ego when having those conversations? And same with women, right?
For sure.
Like if you're having a situation where it's like, you ain't
hitting it right there.
Yeah. Like because it's like you said, very sensitive. People don't like to talk about these things.
Right.
So what are your suggestions to kind of like, I mean, I feel like you've given us so many good suggestions. So if you have to repeat anything, feel free.
I think this is a great question.
Yeah.
It's a good question. It's one that comes up pretty common.
Right.
I always recommend suggestion. Do not have this conversation directly after sex.
In the middle.
Don't have it. Don't criticize. Like, don't give any critiques. Like, can you make some adjustments? Yes. Like, like, babe, I feel like it would be like we could really like get something good if we could just put like a little lube on here, right? Like, just like, but if there's resistance and it's like, all right, well, like I'm feeling this, right? Like I'm feeling pain because men can have pain in their penis. Yeah, they can have discomfort too. And being willing to say, like, I'm feeling some pain, like this would be helpful for me, right? And being open to just really wanting to meet the needs, right? And listening, being receptive. But having those conversations outside of like sex, right? Yeah, that time is important because you want it to be a safe space. You don't want to feel shamed. So you don't want to blame the other person. You want it to just be an open dialogue about how to improve the quality of sex, and just what you feel like the benefits could be by using it. So yeah, just trying to remain like, don't be in a blame space. You just want it to be a safe space.
So
that was good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Jen, we clearly this is not. Yeah, we knew it wasn't gonna be enough. Like,
man.
But I'm really happy we started the conversation because we already know. We knew it was gonna be a part 2. But at least what I'm hearing from you is which is in line with us, like the communication, the types of communication you're having around sex, super important. But I also think that, we have to consider the factors that are at play, medical, like factors that could be at play, changes in life and dynamics and things like that. But then also that willingness to explore is some things that I've heard as well. What are some things that you kind of took away?
Yeah, that was good. I really liked just the same as you, like just opening up that door for communication and don't feel like you're doing too much or don't feel like this is cringe or this is stupid or like if sex is a priority, make it a priority.
Yes.
If it's something that's important to one, it should be important to both.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
For
That's so
sure.
good.
Yeah.
And what would you say? What would you, as sex therapist to the viewers, what would you tell them?
I would say that sex education does not stop at any age. It is something that will always be a lifelong thing. So be open to learning, applying, and just have the willingness to listen to your partner and be open to meeting their needs and having conversations about it because your sex life can only improve by good conversation, consent, and being willing.
Come on
I
now.
love that. That was so good.
Drop mic. Don't drop the mic, but drop mic. That was good.
That's so good. And like,
go ahead.
yeah, for the rest of our listeners, if you don't know where to start with generate questions, you don't know how to generate conversation around sex, we just have a couple of questions that you can ask. Number one, what do you enjoy about our sex life? Number two, how do you think we can take it to the next level? And how can I satisfy your needs? Which is one of the questions that Jen gave us.
Yeah, definitely. And there's so many other things that we, encourage you guys to do. The scheduling, we talked about that.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. That's how you build consistency.
Yes.
And just making sure that also non-sexual intimacy is super important.
Yes.
Yep.
If you wanted to get to that at the end of the night or the midday,
Yes.
there needs to be a little bit of that.
You can have
foreplay.
sex outside of the nighttime, people. Let me just
Hello.
preface.
24/7.
And then for us, we also believe that prayer, like pray about your intimacy. You know what I'm saying? Like that is something that is important. Pray about how intimate you want to be. If that is the non-sexual as well as the sexual part, that's something you can incorporate.
Absolutely.
So this is one of our episodes. We already know. We keep saying it. We know there's going to be a part 2. But
can't wait.
If there's specific questions that you have, please DM us. Please send us a message. Let us know so that when she comes back on, because she's already agreed to, we are prepared. So we want to thank you guys for... Thank you, Jen.
Thank you for having me.
This has been another episode of Chats from the P.
Bye.